Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up! I made this beautiful card with products from Stampin' Up! It's a fun fold, and it's got this frame and then this flap and so we've actually got 4 panels here. I made another version that's just your basic 8.5 by 5.5. Another one. So basically I have 3 panels. This one, and this one. And the card that I'm going to show you is actually an alternative with this as the front and not this frame, this on this panel and this on the inside. I sell all of these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. And I'll have the free detailed directions for this project on my website, and you'll be able to click the links for the products that you would like to be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using the Beauty of Friendship bundle. I'm just actually using this stamp and the dies from the Beautiful Trees dies. If you buy them both together as a bundle, you'll save yourself 10%. I'm also using the Heartfelt Wishes greeting. And my ink is Night of Navy. I'm using the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. And I just love all of these. They've got all these beautiful fall colors, but also some beautiful blue. This tiny sample doesn't show you that this piece actually opens up, and I don't have a full sheet left, but you can get 3 of these panels, and then there's a strip of white, and then 3 more of these panels that are 4 by 5 1/4. You can get 6 off of each sheet. You get 2 sheets of these. I'm using, this piece is 3 by 4. And this piece is actually 4 by 4, and I cut it down to 2 by 4. So we'll need both of those. I have a piece of cinnamon cider that's a full sheet of cardstock. We're going to be using all of it. And 2 pieces of basic white that are 4 by 5 1/4, and about 12 inches of white baker's twine. And this comes from the Essentials pack. And I usually have my card base cut and scored for you already at the beginning of the video, but I wanted to show you how this works. Half of this is 4 1/4, but I want the front of the card, this piece, this corner right here, to be just a tiny bit larger. So I'm going like not even a 1/16 of an inch larger and scoring. And then this is 5 1/2. So this is halfway through. Then I'm going to fold it. And so there is just one side that's a little bit larger. That's this front panel. We're going to cut this corner out of it. So front panel. When you cut this piece, you can put the score line right at that trench and then line up the notch. And cut that. Line up the score line with the trench, and then line up these and cut down here. I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to cut this piece down to 3 1/2. by 4 3/4. I have a piece of foam adhesive. This is kind of like our dimensionals in a larger format. And I want the foam to be close to the same size. So I'm going to cut this to 3 1/2. When I cut this, because this foam is so thick, I cut it both sides. And it still doesn't cut all the way through, but it's close enough so you can just tear it off. Save these scraps. You can use the scraps all together. I could like fill up this cardstock with scraps. And then I have a piece of adhesive sheet without the foam, and this is cut to 3 by 4 to match this piece. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here now. I'm putting it on this side. And if you can get that to match exactly, it's better. I'm removing one backing from there. And again, we want to have this match as close as possible. My cardstock is a little bit larger. I'm moving this aside to bring in my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. So I'll need my number 1 platform, my number 2 cut up plate, my foam core, my foam piece, and this is going to be the tree trunk. And this just barely fits on this platform. And this is a really thick piece, so you're going to roll it through. I'm going to actually turn it this way. You're going to roll it through several times. Because like with the trimmer, it's hard for it to go all the way through. Let's see how we have done. It will actually be easier if I leave this backing part on and hopefully cut through the foam part. There are just a couple of pieces that are all the way around. Most of these are big V's from the outside. This piece, you probably want to pull that out. And this little piece right here. And the rest of the pieces are all connected. This piece we're going to cut with these leaves. And so you can cut this out as the lacy part. There's also a piece that you can put a backing on it if you'd like to have a different color showing through. And this one cuts out very easily. Okay, back to my card base. I want to fold this part up, and I want to make sure I match those corners and get a good crease on here. I cut this one a little bit, so this is the narrow side, and this is the wider side, and I did that so that this folds over a little bit better. Now I was a little bit generous, and so I'm going to fold this more in half, but that's okay, because as I add layers, there's actually a little bit, almost like a narrow spine there. So for this piece, I used the stitched rectangles to cut out this piece and put this panel here so it showed through. But for this card, I'm going to put this panel right on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and put this panel here, and oh, I should have stamped this first, so let me do that now. You can actually stamp it after it's here because it's pretty flat. So I want thinking of you. Now, if you're doing this with the, if you're making the frame part, you want to be sure and have thinking of you inside that frame. But for this version, it's not as important, but maybe for about 1/2 inch on either side. But now I can put this on. And then we'll see how my tree pops out here. So I do want to be a little bit gentle, but you know what? I have been trying to, when I was cutting for my workshop, I was trying to cut all the way through, but I actually think it works better not cutting through that backing. So I want this here. Oh, and I'm awfully close to the top of my thinking of you. And so I don't need to worry about gluing down those little tiny pieces or raising it up with dimensionals. It's already done with that foam. This piece really can go, it's kind of almost like a triangle, so if you want a taller tree, and I like it with this one kind of has this sticking out part, and I think it works best for this card with that coming out to the left. Looks like I have one more thing here, and I forgot something, so let me see if I can fix it up. Because with that frame version, it didn't want to stay closed, so I tied it, and so I'm going to put a piece of the baker's twine. So that was 12 inches, and I just cut it in half. And I'm going to see if I can raise this up and just stick it in there. Not a problem. So I've already used the Seal Plus, but I'm just going to put a little extra glue in there. This would have been way easier if I'd done this before putting that layer on. On this layer, we're going to put this piece, but we're going to put the Designer Series paper on it first. So this isn't actually 4 by 4, it's 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then I'm going to stamp Much Gratitude. If you want to cut this at an angle, that will work too. And I just realized I forgot to put my leaves on. Getting ahead of myself. I got distracted when I realized that that baker's twine got left out. And so let me do this. I'm just going to peel this off, and it looks like it'd be very difficult to pull this backing off, but it really isn't. And looking for that part to put the bottom left. And then one more piece. I don't think I told you about this. This is just a 1/2 inch, or you could even make it a 1/4 inch. And this is also 3 3/4. You could put this across the top if you'd like also. This one goes here. And I forgot one more time, but it should still be plenty loose. I want to put that other piece of baker's twine in here. So about halfway. And I do want these about the same place. So I'm just pulling it that way. With much gratitude, thinking of you. And so you see how as you add those layers, it wants to pop up. So that's what this baker's twine is for. And that's it. Thinking of you. Here is the web address for this project where you'll find the free detailed directions and links for the products I used. Just click the links and you'll be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! Also on my website, you can click Home near the top of the page to find lots of resources. Under Shop, you can find the products I offer to make crafting more convenient, how to get free products with my frequent shopper rewards, and a link to my online store at Stampin' Up! Click Inspiration to scroll all my projects back to 2011, most with detailed directions and videos. Though the products in those older projects have been retired, you may find techniques, layouts, and color combinations to inspire you today. If you're new to stamping, you might want to take a look at the basics. You'll find out how to cut card bases and layers, and what's special about Stampin' Up!, and some of my favorite tools. Under Organization, you'll find tons of free resources such as catalog tabs, labels and case inserts, color tools, and much more. You can take a tour of my craft wall. More organization means more time for crafting. Come stamp with me here in Ventura County, California, or get the best deal of all and join my team of crafters. The team is called SIP Together, and it stands for Stamps, Ink, and Paper Together. The team is made of crafters who want to save money on the products they buy, share with a few friends, or grow a business like mine. Be sure to subscribe to my website and on YouTube. Talk to you soon. Bye.